Welcome to this session. I'm really commending you for your progress so far. So, previously, we've gone through 7 topics and they were on social skills for personal effectiveness and competence. Those were the social skills that you needed to develop in order to be effective and competent anywhere. And right now, we're going to be stepping into 7 more topics that deal on work readiness and development. So, all of these topics that you'll be seeing from now henceforth will get you ready for work. And the first topic we're going to be listening to is understanding the workplace and adapting to the changing world of work. So, as work changes in the world today, how are we going to be able to stand out? How are we going to be able to put our best foot forward and be the best and get the rewards that are there? So eventually, the objectives that you would get to understand at the end of this topic will be to better understand the new changing workplace. The workplace is now changing constantly, very fast. You have to understand it, then identify current and future changes in the world of work. It will set you apart if you can be able to foresee the changes that can be coming in the world of work so you can stand out, and then list and apply strategies on how to adapt to the changing world of work. And before we go deep into it, don't forget that my name is Ezine Uzoije, and you're supposed to take this test before you dive right in. Go take this pre-test right now. All right. So let's look at what do we mean by the workplace and the changing world of work. So the truth is, the World Economic Forum in their 2018 report said that machines now perform about 29% of the tasks that are seen in the workplace today. Machines. That means human beings are no longer doing what machines used to do before. And if you really think about it, it is not far from what you actually know. Before, there used to be, people that were hand doing a lot of things. They were doing it. People were assigned to send mails. People were assigned to send letters. Now we're seeing SMS. We're seeing emails that are even more effective and efficient than human beings that were doing that task by hand on their own. So there are many examples in many industries. There are many examples if you really sit down to think about it. So what this means is that some jobs are disappearing. That's the truth. There are some jobs that you are seeing right now that was not in existence 20 years ago, 10 years ago. Today we are seeing roles like social media strategists, social media specialists, software developer, AI specialist. Those were terms that were not in existence 20 years ago. People did not imagine that something like that could come up. All right. But right now, we're seeing more jobs come out that are more sophisticated. We're seeing a lot of more jobs disappear. Okay, so what this means is that the world of work is changing. There are emerging trends, there are emerging new jobs that are coming out. So you need to best position yourself so that what you're actually doing right now will not be replaced by a machine and then you don't know what to do next. All right. So this topic is going to help you get to that frame where whether or not the machine comes out that can do your job better, you still have a way to earn money. You still stay relevant. You still have some skills that you can monetize going forward. But then what do we even mean by workplace? We've been talking about a workplace. What do we mean by workplace? In order to get everybody carried along, a workplace is a location where someone can work for his or her employer from. Right? So it could be a home office, it could be a large office that you have to work into, it could be a factory, it could be a small office as well, right? Workplace is where you actually staying to deliver work for somebody, for your client, for your employer. That's your workplace. All right. So I hope this definition captures it for you. So workplace does not have to be you you're stepping into a large factory or large office. It could be work from home. I mean, this COVID period, there are lots of people that have had to readjust and then work from home. So it's just how are you getting the work that needs to be done? How are you getting it done? Where are you getting it done from? That's just it. But then the work itself that needs to be done is changing day by day. All right, the industries that we see right now have had some massive changes going on in it. So let's look at this very well. If you look here, you would notice that this is the music industry. I hope you can see this very well. And we remember when there were CDs. CDs were the in thing. You needed to just buy a Walkman CD and then you play it, and then that was it. CDs were the in thing. We've moved over to MP3s. We moved over to MP3s, and you needed to, get iPods, put your MP3s there, use phones. Then we're now moving over to something else. All right. So the work that we see it as is changing. Photography as well. Remember when films were a thing? You needed to just get multiple films and then just take your photographs. But photography has since evolved from those film reels, to digital cameras. And now we are at Instagram. Instagram for storing up photographs that we took with our digital devices, with our mobile phones, right? When you come to the news industry, we've moved from newspaper to television. Now it's Twitter. We get a lot of news from the internet, from social media, right? Even before the publication houses break it, we already have information. When you come to job advertisement, it used to be in the local newspapers, evolved a little bit to some, customized job advertising sites. Now we're seeing it on LinkedIn. We're seeing it in form of community, right? There's so much evolution when it comes to different businesses, different industries in the entire world of work. Even the Netflix that we see today, Netflix started as far back as 1997. They started as a place where you could actually rent DVDs or consume DVDs in different form and all of that. And now, what are we seeing it as? It's streaming. There's a mobile app for it. It's entirely different. They've had to evolve. They've had to change with the times and the demands of the society. So you're seeing that there's always a structural shift when it comes to the world of work. What I want to say right now is that what you just studied right now, the skills you are just honing right now, is going to change. There will still be some change in it that will force you to have to evolve, force you to have to do things differently. So how do you lead in this world? How do you change when that time comes? How would you even stay ahead of that time and not be taken by surprise? You don't want to be like the typist that will still be the only one typing in a world where everybody is now using computers. All right? You want to stay valuable. You want to stay in charge of your destiny. And you want to remain relevant. So how do you do that? I want you to remember that in this changing world of work, what would happen is that as more jobs are automated, new roles will be emerging. As more jobs will be disappearing, there'll be new rules. So you always need to stay on top of your game to know what are those new rules, what are those new skills that you need to take up. All right. And interestingly, there'll be an increasing demand of soft skills. And that's actually why we're doing this training right now. This soft skills training is not something you should joke with. You should take it beyond just listening to these things and then start evaluating what are the things you can implement starting from today, right? Because the truth is, machines can never be like humans. Machines may be able to do it faster with precision, but businesses would always want that human touch, that humane touch. All right. So soft skills will always be in demand. It will be on the increase. The way you think intelligently, the way you are creative, all of those things would matter a lot in the world to come, in this world that we're in currently. And I hope you understand that with this pandemic, that there's been a little bit of lockdown worldwide. There's there's historically, every time there's a bit of a pandemic, there is much more quantum leap in improvement in civilization. Everything kind of changes. All right. So you need to stay prepared. You need to always check how can you stay ahead of time. All right. So there needs to be some skills that you will need to adapt and thrive in this changing world of work. And we're going to be looking at some of them. One of them is compassion. Compassion, it sounds so funny, right? Compassion. So this is a very human characteristic. Are you the kind of person that understands people? Do you have empathy? Are you open-minded enough to listen to people at work, to listen to fellow individuals, hear them out, and all of those things? Compassion is going to be in demand. It will always be in demand. All right? People always gravitate towards people that are mean. Another thing is creativity. Are you creative? Do you spend time thinking at all? Because that's one of the keys for creativity. Because when you spend time thinking, you're able to imagine new things. You're able to be inventive enough, right? To think of com- solutions to complex problems. Because that's what the world needs right now. They need creative ways to do things. I know that a lot of things that you're seeing right now may have already been invented. When you look at there's electricity, there's the internet. There seems to be solutions to almost every problem, but there's still many problems, right? So you can actually be creative in your approach towards the little problems to complex problems, because that's what will set you apart. Another thing is lifelong learning. Everybody needs to understand that learning never stops. There's never a time when you say, "Oh, I've learned it all. Now I can calm down and eat my money." No, you as you are eating your money, you keep learning. That's just the truth. You never stop learning, because there's always one new thing. There's always one new thing to discover, to learn about. So, when you want to approach lifelong learning, it means that there needs to be a strategy that you put into place for learning as you keep working and improving in life. You need to start learning in an agile format. So you could decide, oh, every day, at least 1 hour or 2 hours set aside for understanding what new skill can I learn, or even the skill that I have right now. What new ways can I implement it? Can I use it differently? All right. Lifelong learning is what will set anybody apart when it comes to the changing world of work. Then proactivity is another skill that is important. Always be the person that is proactive. Whether you're working for someone else or you're working for yourself, always think 2 steps ahead. Be proactive. Think what could be done differently. When you're proactive, it means that you don't sit around waiting for answers to appear. You don't sit around waiting to be told things. You actually look out for things. You actually you look out for, where can we cause a change? Where can I bring a solution? All right. You don't wait for someone to give you an instruction to do something before you actually do something. It's like you self-instruct yourself. You're 2 steps ahead. Creativity will set you apart in business, it will set you apart at work. Now, another skill that is important in the world of work today and in the future is social intelligence. So, what do I mean by social intelligence? Do you understand what to say in public places at the right place and at the right time? Can you connect with people in a deep and direct way? Are you someone that has charisma? If you are not right now, it's always something you can develop on. Start working on it. All right. Start understanding people's reactions. Start understanding verbal and non-verbal cues. Right. Social intelligence is very important, so that you know how to comport yourself in social gatherings, social places, and with people. Now, another skill is novel and adaptive thinking. So, how are you approaching things? Do you understand how to solve problems? Do you understand how to think outside the box? Do you understand how to come up with tailored solutions to different problems? You need to keep developing on all of these skills. Cross cultural competency is another one, and this is because in this world today, you'll be meeting people from different backgrounds, from different cultures. And it will be unfair for you to think that those same people will be thinking the same way you're thinking. You will need to adapt. You need to understand, oh, how do I actually cope with these people that are different from me, that I am different from? You will need to be tolerant of people's views, people's religious views, people's political views, right? When you have cultural competency, it sets you apart. You're not the sort of person that will be appointed in certain positions, and then other people that do not think like you, that are not like you, will suffer. All right. Cross-cultural competency is a very important skill to adapt and have in today's and the changing world of work. So not all of those skills, and there's so many more. These are just the ones that we're looking at. These are the things that you will need to actually develop, to actually fine tune in order to adapt in the changing world of work. And there's something else that is important for everybody, whether you're going to be starting up your own business or working for someone else. You would need to have an entrepreneurial mindset. An entrepreneurial mindset is a mindset that thinks like an entrepreneur. It sets you apart. You're entirely different. You're not the sort of person that waits till the end of the month for a miracle to fall on your laps and then you get money, you get salary. You will need to have an entrepreneurial mindset. It would set you apart from people, your contemporaries. So, what is that entrepreneurial mindset? For us to fully understand it, we need to actually understand who an entrepreneur is. So, an entrepreneur is somebody that is willing to take risk, willing to exercise initiative, and take advantage of business opportunities through planning, organizing, and using resources. All right, whether it's by innovating things or by improving on existing ideas. So, why are we talking about entrepreneurship right now? Because whether you're working for someone else or yourself, it's going to be very important. When you're working for someone else, the person with an entrepreneurial mindset is someone that is thinking of ways to improve the business, ways to bring more profit. And of course, every employer would value that sort of person. Every employer would always want to, reward that person heavily for the input, for the value the person is bringing to the workplace. And a lot of times people think that, oh, when they're working for someone else, they don't need to have an entrepreneurial mindset. They see it as, oh, I'll be bringing so much value for someone else for less money. No, I want to leave it till I start up my own business. No, don't think about it that way. Because it's like a muscle. When you're developing an entrepreneurial mindset and you're working for someone else, you keep improving on it. You keep improving on your muscle. You keep improving on how you take risks, on how you actually take initiative. And then when you eventually start up your own business, it's not like you have to start training it. It's already there. You already know how to do things based on your experience from the past. The same goes when you're actually working on your own business. An entrepreneurial mindset is what will set you apart from other businesses. It will help you make more profits. It will help you advance, right? So, what are the skills and characteristics of an entrepreneur? One is that he's someone that seeks business opportunities and utilizes them. Business opportunities abound. But you see that some people may not be able to see it, but an entrepreneur would see it. And most of the time is because he has settled down to really check his environment, check what are the needs that are existing right now. What are the alternatives? Why is there nobody really feeding those needs? How can I actually fill those needs? Right? So the entrepreneur is always looking for what are the business opportunities that exist and then how he can, you know, maximize it and utilize it and then fulfill those needs that people have. An entrepreneur is profit oriented. He understands that the reason for business is to also make profit, not just to fulfill people's needs. Is when you provide value to people and then those people provide money in reward for that value you provided. The entrepreneur seeks information on what he or she does not know. So the truth is that there are many things the entrepreneur may not know. How to do this, how to do that. He would understand, okay, he would itemize it, these are the things I need to get more information on, and then set to work to get information on those things. And of course, he or she is willing to learn. He or she is willing to improve, is persistent, doesn't give up easily because there are many challenges that come up in the world of work. But the entrepreneur has that don't give up attitude to actually push through. The entrepreneur has good leadership ability, is a decision maker. So you see where this leadership comes into play again. And then identifies and initiates ideas for projects, for business, for income, for profit. All right. The entrepreneur has the ability to assess the strengths and weaknesses of projects so that if there are projects that don't really bring in the money that is required to keep the business moving, the entrepreneur makes a decision immediately and says, okay, we need to pause on this project. We need to do it differently. We need to stop it entirely. All right. Entrepreneur understands how to assess the strengths and weaknesses of the people that are working in the business. Because the truth is that not everybody is actually wired enough to work in a business. They may not have such soft skills and hard skills that are necessary to move a business forward. And then that entrepreneur will be someone that can assess their strengths and weaknesses and know what to do differently concerning those people. And of course, another skill is that the entrepreneur can monitor and evaluate progress of what is being done in the business based on goals that have been set before, based on objectives that have been agreed on. So you see that these are top skills and characteristics of an entrepreneur. What I want you to do right now is to check which of these skills right now do you think you have? Which of these skills do you think you've developed to a great extent? Which of them do you not really have in great abundance? Just list them out, write them down, and make a plan towards improving on them. All right. So as simple as seeking information on what you don't know. If you know you're not the sort of person that is eager enough to search for information, to ask questions, you can decide to start looking for it. You can decide to start filling gaps. Oh, where do I see a challenge that I cannot fill? How do I now improve on getting information for every time I have a challenge? All right. If you know you're the sort of person that gives up easily, what's your plan towards not giving up easily? Because all of these things, like I mentioned, are like a muscle. You will need to keep improving on them. You will need to keep improving on them. And there always needs to be a plan. There always needs to be a decision for improving on them. Okay. So there are many times that many entrepreneurs that is people that have entrepreneurial mindset that are working with businesses decide that it's now time to start their own business. And that's the thing. It's okay if you are at that point where you decide, oh, I may want to work for a few years and then start up my own thing. That is beautiful. Some people may feel like, oh, I don't want to work, but I want to start up my own business. That is still okay. But you need to understand the requirements for starting a business. And we're going to be using this 5-step approach to look at them. First is initiating ideas, researching and designing, resourcing, marketing, evaluation, and feedback. So, for initiating ideas, here you will need to generate viable business ideas. Viable because some ideas may not be viable for that time or that location in particular. So, you need to brainstorm and think what are the viable business ideas that you can begin that make sense for you, that you have some experience in to beginning. Then you start researching. Research on how possible it is for you to venture into that business at that point in time. How profitable would it be? Design a business proposal, a business plan for it so that you can begin to see the real picture of how profitable and viable that business will actually turn out to be. Then the third resourcing, here you start getting funding, start getting advice, start building some expertise that you may not have, and then marketing. At the marketing part, here you've started promoting and selling your business. You need to develop strategies that will make people to know your business, strategies that will get you more customers. And at evaluation and feedback, here you're monitoring what is happening in your business. What do you need to improve on? Where do you need to make adjustments? Where do you need to pull back things on? All right. This needs to be done frequently. Even as you continue your business, you always need to review your business activities. You always need to check your progress. You always need to look for solutions for the challenges that you come upon on your business. All right, so let's look at this other thing, the questions that you need to ask before starting a business. First, you start this way. We go around this. You start by defining what is the problem you're trying to solve. When you define that problem, then it's easier for you. Look around you and check what are the problems that are existing. What are the problems that are existing currently that you want to solve? Is it a big problem? Is it something that people are managing with other alternatives? If you start a business, do you think it would work? All right. Then, when you've defined it, the next thing is to measure. Are there big customers or is there an existing market for your solution? Because you could come up with a solution for instance, for producing pink cartons. You already know that most of our cartons are brown in color. And maybe you come upon your own ones, you want it to be a pink carton. Is that really a problem? Maybe for a few people. All right. But then, are there enough customers? Is there a strong market that wants their own carton to be pink? Is it that serious for them that when you start selling pink cartons, then there will be a lot of people that tell you, "Oh, I want that pink carton, give it to me." These are the things that you'll be measuring at this stage. Then explore. Here you actually check who are the existing players, right, in the market. Who are the existing competitors? Who are the people that are already providing this solution to that problem that you want to also solve, right? In fact, sometimes you may not really see competitors, you may see alternatives, right? So you may see that the alternative to a pink carton is a brown carton that just does the job very well too as well. It's containing things, right? So you could see that the alternative is not even carton. People are just putting their things anyhow. They're making do without carton. What are the alternatives? Who are the competitors? Then check how do they stand against your own idea. How are you going to actually work with them too, based on the fact that they are still in existence. All right. So you need to check all of these things. The next thing is develop. Here you check the resources that you need to solve that problem. Do you have enough resources to actually be the solution to that problem? All right. Do you have enough partnerships? You have some mentors you can rely on their expertise, maybe in business in general or in that particular industry, right? Then after that, you then implement. Here, implementation, that's just a word. You execute. So you've defined the problem, you've measured whether the market needs that solution you're offering, you've explored the alternatives, you've explored what your competitors are doing, you've developed your own plan, your own resources for solving that problem. Then the next thing is to execute. So this is the action plan that you have to develop to actually start your own business. Then when you actually start your business, you also notice that the concept of business opportunity will come up. Business opportunities stay to exist when there's possibility of offering a new product or service in a particular market. All right. Maybe you could see that you're operating in a particular location and there's an opportunity in another location, right? Or you see that the product or service fulfills the demands and preferences of the customers in another area, and then you get to move out to that area as well. So, business opportunity also said to exist when the product can be used to solve customers' problem. You will always need to look for business opportunities. It's something that you always need to open your eyes to. Check where can you possibly offer that product or service? Is there another market you can offer it to? Is it truly fulfilling the demands of the customers? You could produce something and you see that it's not enough. There's more demand than supply. And that's an opportunity. It's telling you, oh, you could go into new partnerships that can help you meet that demand. All right. So these are things that you need to keep in mind as you start your business. So you will need to have a process for identifying and evaluating business opportunities. First, understand and identify the needs and wants of customers. What do you think customers really want? If you notice throughout this whole talk about business, it always starts with customers because it's the customers that will determine whether that product, whether that business will continue going on. If the customers don't want what you're offering, then before you know it, the business has to end, right? So start with identifying the needs and wants of customers. Check the environment. Check what is being offered there. All right. Check yourself. Can you meet the demands for that, for offering that business opportunity, for fulfilling that business? All right. Check what is obtainable in the community, right? Then evaluate all of the business opportunities that are popping up. There could be opportunities in food, there could be opportunities in fashion. Evaluate which one do you think makes more sense for you at that point in time. Then select one of it. All right. When you select one of it, go ahead and prepare a business plan, a plan that can help you begin operating and fully start providing the needs and wants of your customers. Now, there are different ways that you can get this You can get this opportunities. You can get it through problems. When you notice people's problems, you notice that they have a challenge with something, or through changes. You notice during the COVID-19 lockdown, there was a high demand for masks. That was a change, right? So that was an opportunity. Many people were able to cash out because they understood the need of customers, and they were able to fully supply. They were able to step in and then took advantage of that business opportunity. It could also be new discoveries. Tomorrow there could be a new discovery. Maybe that mobile phones are no longer the things to be used. Maybe it's now pen. We can use pen to actually make calls. That could be an opportunity. Somebody could decide to step in there and actually be the person that is a manufacturer for the body, or the company that is coupling everything together. So you always need to look around for these opportunities. It could be in form of problems, challenges. Sometimes it could also be in form of existing products and services. You may see that an existing product can be developed, can be improved upon, or an existing service can be improved upon. For example, Uber and all these transport companies that came up. It's not like everybody has not been finding their way around cities, have not been taking local taxis and buses, but they noticed that they could actually come up with a solution that helps make it easier for people. So with a mobile app, they were able to improve on something that has been in existence since time immemorial. Transportation. With mobile apps, they improved on the transport service that has been in existence in every place, right? So always look out for this business opportunity. Sometimes it could also come in form of unique knowledge. Maybe it's just a brand new thing you can come up with, right? So these are the five main ways that you can come up with business opportunities. I hope you've enjoyed this session so far, right? Let me know on Slack what did you pick up from this particular session. You can give a thorough summary of it, or just one thing that you picked out from it. Just drop it on Slack. And in conclusion, dominate your world. Don't wait to go extinct. Remember what this topic was about understanding the workplace and adapting to the changing world of work. So we need to come up with ways to adapt. There will always be changes. Anticipate them. In fact, when you don't think there's any more changes, when you should be worried that maybe you're not the one that is not saying it. So don't wait to go extinct. Always adapt and understand your workplace. So give me a summary of what you understood from this session, and don't forget to drop your post test here at this link. Don't fill your pre-test and not fill your post test. It's very important for you to fill both. See you in the next one.